Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I? Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. We are back. It's been a couple weeks. I think this maybe was our longest hiatus we ever had. We weren't sure what we were going to do for episodes, but the truth is we can barely function as human beings at this point. So the fact that we made it tonight is that's a big win for everybody. Hope you guys are all having a good night. We're back from Japan. We had an incredible trip. So what we'll do is tonight we'll start really breaking it down and talking about all the things we did. And I'm sure that conversation will continue into toy anxiety tomorrow night. And then you'll really start getting into the thick of it on Wednesday for Monster Island. And yeah, it's going to be a fun week. So thanks everybody for being here, whether you're watching live or after the fact. We appreciate it. Let me introduce my co-hosts. Abigail Gardner, how are you?
Hey, I'm hanging in there, as the poster with the kitten says. That's how I feel. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to discuss the trip because it's almost like it starts to evaporate if you don't talk about it. So I'm looking forward to talking about it. And I'm happy that I'm back in one piece, and happy to see you, Jacob, and to see you, Craig, as well. And
How are you feeling?
Me, I'm doing okay. I've been trying to adjust to the time change, and it's a lot because it was a great distance that we traveled. But I'm doing what I can. I took a little nap today, and I've been trying to spend some time outside, taking walks and reading and gardening to kind of get back into routine.
Yeah, we've been back for about a week. And Jacob, I don't know about you, but halfway through that flight, I got up and talked to the flight attendant. I was like, hey, is it normally this long? It feels like it's taking a very long time to get there.
It was shorter on the way back than it was on the way there.
I know.
By 2 whole hours, which I don't understand, but
Oh, it's because the Earth is flat. Don't you know?
Wait, I
it's
thought
quicker on the way back.
it doesn't. Yeah, it spins differently sometimes.
It's because Katy Perry.
Because you're
went to
going
space.
with the spin.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
exactly.
right,
you cannot.
The spin
Don't go
move.
against the spin. It
Yeah.
does spin, by the way. Just let everybody else in the world know
Let everybody
Letting
know
your
it
father-
spins. Okay.
the Earth spins. Jacob, what's up,
Hey.
man? How are you?
Tired. I'm tired.
We're exhausted.
Yeah. I mean,
Our
that's
sleep
about,
schedules have been fucked.
yeah, really bad. I don't know, man. The light is really bright right now, and I was like, can I just do it without the light? I don't know. It's
Can we do candlelight?
It's
That's
hot.
all I
It's
can
like the fuck.
Yeah.
It's already so like, I don't know. You know how I am about the heat, and
Oh, I'm right there.
I'm
with you.
uncomfortable.
It's fine.
I
We're
want to
gonna
be
make it
back
through.
in Japan.
Well, I think I don't want to bury the lead, but like it was like for anybody who's never been and like this was our first time,
Hmm
it kind of just lived up to the hype. Like it was a really incredible, amazing place, and we'll keep talking about it. And like we're gonna whatever we talk about tonight,
Right, this
we'll
is
talk
just
about. We can't.
Mhm.
There's no way to do like a play by play. But I mean, the people were so kind and respectful. They respect each other. They respect nature. There's no trash anywhere. There's also no trash cans, which was like if you have trash, carry it. You just
Yeah.
figure it out
That
later.
trash is with you for the next day, almost
Well, it
until
keep-
you get back.
It makes you mindful of the trash you produce when
Yeah.
you can't find a trash can.
That is
So,
true.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just get like general impressions. Obviously, I know the answers to this, but I think our audience, and there's a lot of people who have been asking, in commenting. We did a good amount of videos on the Toy Anxiety channel. Some of those are doing really well, so thank you guys for checking those out.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, that 6-store Mandrake, or 6th-floor Mandrake store in Osaka. Jacob,
Mandarake.
for people who don't know what Mandarake is, I love saying it, Mandarake.
Yeah.
I always read it as Mandrake, which sounds like a Seinfeld thing. Like,
I mean, Mandrake is
whoa!
what it's what there's like 3 different ways people pronounce it, and
Yeah.
it's all wrong.
But what can you explain to our listeners like what that is?
Well, it's
Because
kind of like
I still don't know if I know.
Well, one of the things I noticed about Japan is they have these like chain stores that are kind of like we went into that Book Off, and
Yep.
that's like a chain of stores over there, but they have. I was actually kind of jealous one day. AJ went off on his own and he went to a big Hobby Off, and they have other stores in their
Right.
chain that specialize in different things. And we got to go into one of the Book Offs, but Mandarake is like, it's like eBay. It's like going into an eBay store, but you can buy things, and
Right.
a lot of the Safubi that I get, that me and Jay buy, like we buy from Mandarake. Like,
Right.
it was weird. Like, we follow those specific stores online, and like that's where a lot of our collections come from. And then we got to go there, but it's like a chain of stores that specialize in either books or Safubi or even like American toys. There's like different. It depends, because each store specializes in a different thing. Like, we went to a couple that were like, nope, and we're done with this one,
Right.
And then you go to one that's all Safubi, and you go to one that's all books, and then Nakano Broadway, which is like a big mall, has like 11 Mandarakes in it, something like that. And
Dude, malls are still huge in Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mall culture is awesome. That's something that I noticed and enjoyed in particular. I like having those like interest focused stores that are like used vintage kind of stuff, like the off stores that you're referencing, Jacob. Those are really cool. I really liked being in Osaka. There was like a huge mall shopping area that we spent a good bit of time in. And I just found that to be really refreshing to like go up several floors on an escalator to see different stores where there's like youth culture shopping, and like it's like you can get your coffee and like sit with your friends. It was almost like a time travel situation.
You guys
for
don't
me.
understand. Abby, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, it reminded
It's
me of being
insane.
like 14 and go to North Point
Yeah,
Mall
but
and like there
Malls
being
are
lots of
dead in
people.
America.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that, Abby, you're specifically saying the one in Osaka, but every single place we went to had one, which
At
was
a crazy
insane.
mall.
Like,
Mhm.
Shibuya's got one,
Yeah.
Osaka's got one. Literally, one train station over from where we stayed, the Sky Tree is a mall. It's a giant mall. It's like anytime we were like, oh, we're gonna go find the store that we found, we get there and it's inside
And
a 7-story mall.
right.
What
The malls
fuck?
all go up. All the
Yeah.
stores go up there. Things
Everything
don't.
goes up. Yep.
It's a kind of a.
Where do these stairs
microcosm.
go?
Yeah, they go up. It's very like, and in America, everything's like,
It's a space saving technique. Yeah.
yeah, everything goes out, just taking up space, and like
Yeah.
they go up. So yeah, we did a lot of cool shopping. We'll show off some of the stuff we got, talk about some of the experiences. I don't want to bury the lead any further. We got to talk about this bathroom situation in Japan. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry, but these bidets, I don't even know what to say other than, first of all, they have bidets in America, but you guys don't understand. They're every bathroom has
It's standard in Japan.
It's the standard feature in Japan, and I kind of forgot about that before going. What it is crazy in there's a lot of buttons. You can't just go in there willy nilly, start pressing buttons. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, I mean, you hear people say stuff about the bathrooms all the time, and it's like one of the things you hear about Japan, like, oh, they got the best toilets, and then you kind of think like, okay, well, it's a toilet, how great can it be?
Yeah.
And directly coming off the airplane, landing in Japan, go into the bathroom,
Yeah.
and had to get I was like, cool, this is the first time I get to use my Google Translate, because there's literally a panel. It looks like Donatello's lab, there's like all these buttons, and I'm like, what do these do?
Oh man.
And you're right though, it is superior in every way. It just is.
I mean, nothing beats construction paper. Abby, I will. Where are you on this? Because like at first, we all had to experience it in our own way and in our own time.
Yeah, I was like a late adopter. I'm a little bit slow to change. I'm a routine person, so I wasn't quite sure about the bidet situation until probably my third day there. I'd heard everyone raving about it, and I'd used the music, which I always could tell because there were little musical notes, and that usually plays like a soft running stream with like bird sounds. Sometimes like actual music plays.
Sometimes
I
actual
love
birds come out. It's
yeah,
crazy.
well, it's like Disney. It's I feel like Cinderella. No, but kind of actually. Like it's a princess situation. To use a bidet. So I won't go into all the graphic details, but it's great, and I think it's healthier and better for people. And I wish we had them over here,
It's
and I miss
cleaner,
them.
I think.
Yeah, it's a cleaner situation. It's better hygienically.
Yeah.
First
So
of
yeah,
all, I'm paying
love
attention
the
to the chat.
bidet community.
Apparently, we're way behind because there's multiple people saying it. Yeah, mine rule.
They already have
Like,
them.
yeah. No, this is great. We had fun with that. We had fun with the
We had fun.
We had fun with that.
We had
filling
fun. We
toilets.
like the buttons. We like the functions. It was
Heated
fun.
seats. It was great. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. We stayed in a cool Airbnb. AJ Quick was with us of gbfans.com.
Mhm.
Jess was with us.
Mm-hmm.
Of she made a couple cameos in some of those toy anxiety videos. Go
Yeah.
watch them.
She's probably in them more than I am.
Yeah.
I didn't even
mean,
realize we were doing videos, and I was like, "Well, how do we have 6 videos up on YouTube?" I didn't know we were
dude,
filming.
I'm filming. I'm doing the
Yeah.
content. I'm thanking the people for sending me to Japan. I mean, in all seriousness, though, like we could talk about bidets all night, and we will.
All bidet.
All bidet and all night, but it kind of goes to the efficiency of the entire country, of just the way things are done there. Like I know, I listen. Hey, after 24 hours, we all kind of looked at each other and went, "Oh, is America wrong at every turn?" Like,
but I thought they said America was the greatest country in the world.
yeah.
Oh, they've never been to another country, I think.
Yeah. I mean, Abby, just from like a cultural perspective, public transportation, just interacting, like even something as simple as fast food, like just some of your impressions. I think that people want to know.
I mean, traveling around like as a female or as someone alone, I felt very safe. There was just like a gentleness and like a safe feeling about the whole country. At least where we were staying. The food service industry seems to have it figured out. Like rather than making a server like flirt and perform, it's like there's more respect given to the food that's being made. And it's more like it's not looked down upon is the feeling that I have. I feel like the people working in the service industry have just as much respect for themselves and for the act of service and for giving, people food for money. And I was really inspired by that. And I personally enjoyed my meals at McDonald's, and we ate at like a small vegan spot, like our first 24 hours there. And it was just one woman who like set an entire meal out for like anyone who sits down. You just like you get the set meal, and it starts with soup, and there's salad and marinated vegetables and like fried tempura, sweet potatoes, and it was just like an amazing meal that like I found myself closing my eyes through most of and just really enjoying. So yeah, my food experience plus 7-Eleven, like they have it in the bag, like everything is available there that I could ever want. And I do miss a lot of things. I'm kind of craving like the little rice cakes and the cream puffs that I was getting every day there. Kind of
I miss that guy at
I
our
need to find him.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, the guy was really nice too.
There's just it's kind of hard to describe, and like I don't want to like just put other pieces of American culture down, but there just seems to be a real pride in the work, whatever anybody's doing, whether they are an Uber driver or a taxi driver or a train conductor or a crossing guard or a construction worker or whatever, or somebody working at Baskin Robbins. Like there's a real like presentation of this is what
Pride
I
in your
do. Yeah.
performance.
And
Yeah.
it may, as a consumer or somebody who's experiencing it for the first time, like it was like culture shock in like a really positive way, where it's like, oh, I'm so used to like here it feels like pulling teeth to just do anything and get anywhere. And, like, how many times have we been out on a vacation? Just finding food is hard, and like getting decent services. And somebody like Abby, you've worked in the food service industry. I've worked in the food service industry. Jake, you're in customer service. Like, we know these are hard things to find, like to get like good service.
There's a better way, than
it feels
the
like
way
rare
that we're currently doing
here.
it. Yeah.
Right.
Well, it feels to me like, you know, when I go to a Taco Bell or a Burger King or something, you always expect your food to be trash or to be wrong. You know, anytime we're all hanging out and we DoorDash food, it's like wrong half the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
or doesn't come,
or it doesn't show up. If you go into, you know, if I go into the Burger King up the road here, there's 100% chance they're playing their own music off their phones. They're not paying attention. Everything is slow. They hate being there. And a lot of fast food places are like that for whatever reason.
Right.
It is not like that in Japan.
Right.
Like, you go into a McDonald's and it literally felt like you're a kid going into a place where they're all like happy to be there, happy to do their jobs. Everything's clean. They put the food together. It's not like you don't open your food and it's like all over the place.
Everything's in bags, even your
like,
drinks.
Yeah, it's like what you were saying, Abby. Like, they have pride in their jobs no matter what their jobs are. People aren't looking down on you because you work in a fast food place. They're like, you have a job, that's great.
Yeah.
And they do it well. So
yeah. And when it comes to restaurants where like you would normally tip, they just have a standard higher wage, which I think is incredible. And something that we should do over here.
Yeah. So we were like, so the time difference, it's like 12, 13 hours ahead from Atlanta. In half the time, that means you're in a different day, right? So like right now, it's 7 a.m. essentially in Tokyo right now. So coming back, like we kind of talked earlier, like I never have experienced like real jet lag, like from time zone changes. So I don't know if what we're all going through this week is like what it's jet lag, but it's not like, I'm not just like tired all day. we're falling asleep at weird times and getting up at weird times. So, you know, not normal for Jake and I to be texting at 6:30 in the morning, but a couple times this week it's like we're up.
Well, you know? I think it was either Saturday morning or Sunday morning. You called me at like, I don't know, 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, I just got done playing golf.
Yeah.
And I had already like gotten up and made breakfast and had a shower and like went to the farmer's market. It's just like, what the fuck is happening?
Right. I very rarely in my adult life am I outside going, all right, son, come up. Get out there. But when we first got to Japan, the first 4 or 5 days, we were just falling asleep at like 8:30 at night, waking up at 4 in the morning.
Which wasn't so bad because like I feel like you want to get up early when you're on vacation to be able to do more things. And
plus the sun comes out early there.
I had read before we left that it's not as bad going there. It's bad when you come home. And I believe that. I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to act like an expert. I'm currently struggling with time change and jet lag. So I get it.
Actually, we're all asleep right now.
It's worth it. Like, I will say that the trip is to go out there. It's worth it to fight that stuff. I know it's tough, but y'all can get through it.
You guys can all do it.
Yeah.
So I will say this, you know, I did the least amount of prep. Who would have thought? As far as like watching like videos and vlogs. And my reason is there's so much good content about traveling out there, and those are great resources. They tend to stress me out because by and large, they would make me feel like things are much more complicated than they actually are. I mean, if you have some level of common sense and you've got like Google Maps and, you know, a little bit of patience, you can kind of figure it out. Even though like when we first got there, quite literally feels like you're on a different planet, because even in a busy train station, it's really quiet and everything's really clean and the train is on time, and like it's like, oh, this feels familiar but very different.
Yeah.
But I found it even like you kind of start getting used to the currency conversion, and there's ATMs, and if you're traveling, if you have an iPhone, you can get the digital. There's 3 different transit cards that are built into the Apple Wallet, and not only can you use those for majority of the trains, you can use them for like vending machines and at 7-Eleven. So like that's a really convenient. That was easier than I was expecting, like navigating that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I had seen videos that made, like you said, that made that seem very complicated, and it just wasn't. Like
Right.
the phone stuff and the train cards, and like their public transportation over there is so, I mean, like everything about the country seemed better to me,
Yeah.
and like more put together, and it seemed like they had better ideas on how to make things run way more smoothly than they do over here. But the public transportation, it was kind of mind-blowing, like, because it's like the subway. I mean, we've had conversations before where we were like, why don't we have the subway everywhere? It's pretty, it's a pretty good system. But then Japan's train system is like the subway,
it's another level,
but it's another level, and there's so much more of it. And I mean, it is a little intimidating at first. Luckily, we had AJ, who was very good at
the navigator,
like, memorizing everything.
You have to
about
have a
the
navigator.
trains. But like the fact we've talked about this, but like the day we went to Osaka, if you look, Osaka is about 5 or 6 hours from where we were staying in Tokyo. But you just like walk into a train station. Don't even have to have your tickets ahead of time. You can buy them right there. Buy a $50 one way. It was like $100, there and back, something like that. Maybe it was a little more. I don't remember. And maybe it was 100 there and 100 back. But still, you just buy your ticket and it's like you're there in 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, why don't? Can you imagine if we had? I mean, like, can you imagine if the United States had a bullet train? Like, you could just on the weekend be like, well, I'm going to go to Chicago, or you know what I mean? Like, I could not.
Well,
I was blown away by the trains.
The bullet train, and also like Tokyo to Osaka, there's a train that leaves every 7 minutes all day. Right. So it's like, and there's no security line. You just go. And like they put out the bullet train system in 1964, and there's never been an accident. Like it's efficient to the highest level. And they've been trying to do something like that in the United States forever, and it's not
going to happen in our lifetimes. It's just not.
So super efficient. I want to talk about some of the, different stuff that we did. Obviously, tomorrow night on Toy Anxiety, we'll be showing off a lot of like toy pickups and that kind of stuff. We did go to Star Wars Celebration. We could talk about that a little bit maybe at the end, because I was near the end of the trip. I wanted to talk about Universal Studios a little bit, which is in Osaka. Now, we did not really get into this before the trip, but there was one devastating blow to the.
I still don't want to get into it.
Jake still doesn't want to get into
it.
But we should say, because I think people would ask, we did find out before going that the Jaws ride was going to be under maintenance for the whole month of April, which the Jaws ride only exists in Universal Japan. There's like a very small version of it out in LA, but the proper Jaws ride that debuted in Orlando in the early 90s still exists in full form in Japan, was not operating while we were there. It's a total bummer, but Mr. Optimistic me, I look on the bright side and said, hey, if they're closing it for a month of renovation and maintenance, that's a good sign. When we go back, and I know we're going to go back in the next 14 months or whatever. We have to.
14 months. We're just like, oh, I guess we're going back.
Yeah, we definitely.
I might.
We'll be there, and it'll be better for being renovated. I think.
I will say, as far as Universal goes, my kind of overall, I was really bummed out about the Jaws ride thing, and at one point almost was like, well, I don't want to go if the Jaws ride isn't. It's the only reason I wanted to go, and kind of looking back on it, kind of wish we would have made other plans after that, because the park itself, though I had a good time and though it was fun, there's nothing very special or unique about that park other than it still has the Jaws ride. You know what I mean? Like, we ate at the fucking Harry Potter restaurant and rode Jurassic Park and we left.
Well, hold on. I'll push back a little. I found it to be just like very clean. I thought the Jurassic Park area was like way better than the Orlando version. The Jurassic Park ride we went on, all the animatronics were working.
Sure. No, I mean, you're right and all that. It just, to me, feels like you're going to Japan for the first time. It's a little bit of a waste of a... I would not recommend going to... Like, if you're going to Japan for the first time, I would not recommend going to Universal unless you want to ride that Jaws ride. Because otherwise it's Florida. It's different, but it's Florida.
Oh, okay. Again, this is not an argument.
I think it is. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Tell me what was so much better about Florida.
I didn't say it's better, but there is a lot of different attractions there that we just didn't do. Like, there's like a bunch of Sesame Street stuff we didn't do.
Yeah.
There's like Japanese
Hello
specific
Kitty area that we didn't go to.
Yeah. I think personally, like, listen, the Jaws ride is my second favorite theme park ride of all time behind Confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
I was also very upset. I want to go on the Jaws ride more than anything. I think it just depends on what, like, for instance, like if Nintendo World, because we did go to the Nintendo World as well, if that wasn't about to open in Orlando,
I wouldn't be saying this if that wasn't about to open, but it is.
To me, like, if you are a theme park person and Jaws is going to be open, which it will be, yeah. I think it, because there's something about the park, and it's been hard for me to pinpoint. I just enjoyed myself there. Maybe it was the efficiency. Maybe that, like, they opened early and we got in and all that stuff. But I
agree with all that. I just think if it's not for Jaws, it's not worth wasting a day in Japan to go to a park. It's not that different. That's all I'm saying.
You're right. It's not, we didn't.
It is better. It is better, but it's not.
We didn't do the Disney
so
parks.
Different. You need to wait. You need to, like, waste one of your Japan days.
Abby, what'd you think of Universal Japan?
I had a blast. I felt like I was on the set of, like, a commercial for Universal Studios being filmed, because, like, everyone was really happy and enjoying their time. And I'm somebody that can get kind of stressed at theme parks, but I found myself like really chill in the line going in, and then really excited to go into the Mario area, because I'd seen videos and I'd watched videos of that, and I mean, it was fully immersive, as Disney likes to say, which I know it's not Disney, but it was extremely well put together. Everything was functioning, all the bells and whistles. I was most struck by, there was like one small crack in, like, the entire park that was, like, on a walkway, and, like, they had, like, 3 cone triangles around it. Like, don't walk on this. Everything.
They were apologizing for it.
Yeah, yes. And for that, you know what? As someone who's kind of concerned about safety and, like, large crowds, and I felt at ease walking through the park. Yeah. I found the Jaws area, the Amity area, just to be, like, really cool on its own. There were a lot of restaurants and a lot of merch. And the way they have, like, the shark Bruce for photography, it's like a big deal. Like, you have to kind of wait in line, and like, someone else takes your picture. So I found it to be a really refreshing time at the park.
And then you did the the
not to like sugarcoat, be like everybody was in a good mood, but it was like the park just in general seemed to be full of smiles and fun. And I enjoyed that.
And you did the roller coaster?
I
Jake
did
we had French fries. They were delicious.
Yeah, you had French fries. I rode with AJ and Jess. We rode it's the dinosaur roller coaster. I think it's just like has a generic name like that. And it's advertised as if you're like flying within the wings of the pterodactyl, like cradled. You're not really. Like you're basically like you're put into like a tight suit and then like propped backwards. So like you're like Superman kind of like flying forward. I thought it was really enjoyable. The security was super tight on that. Like you couldn't have anything in your pocket because that would be a hazard. But I really enjoyed that ride. I like a good roller coaster romp. And I like to see new stuff and seeing the Mario stuff as a Mario Kart fan. The ride itself was like actually like not as good as just playing the game, and it wasn't quite as good as the line, but seeing tires and stuff that you can select for your Mario Kart like in person, I was like, this is cool. And there's some really good like set deck, and I really appreciate the lighting.
Yeah, the ride, the actual Mario Kart ride, like, sorry to report, it kind of sucks.
It sucks.
It's overkill.
It's underkill. It's the most bland fucking,
if you have
like,
glasses,
20-year-old
ride.
Yeah. The technology feels like 20-year-old outdated I was actually shocked what that ride actually was once you got on, because you're expecting something, because the Mario Land it looks amazing. It looks so cool. Everything about it I loved. Like Abby said, the line is really cool, and then you get on the ride and I was like, surely this can't be the ride. It's bad. It's bad. We only did the one. We didn't want to wait in the lines for the other. The lines got really long really quickly. So Mario Kart is all we did, but the Mario Kart ride is actively a bad. I will never get on that again. It was bad.
And here's the other thing. I've been trying to think of what to compare it to. It's somewhere in between the Men in Black ride at Universal and like a crappy dark ride at Magic Kingdom with a visor and bad graphics.
Complicated, like
with
VR.
Virtual Boy.
Like, I would say all those things.
But yeah, so we did do that day at Universal and City Walk and all that stuff, which was really cool. So God, I don't even know. Like, there's just so much. Like, we saw castles, we saw shrines. Follow any of you on social media. Like, we've all been posting pictures and videos. One thing that I did get to do that I wanted to kind of show a couple things, because I'm not going to show these on Toy Anxiety, is we went to Totocon, which is a famous pro wrestling store, basically. That I don't even remember where in Japan it is. It's somewhere in Tokyo. Hey guys, Tokyo is very big, and every time you go to a new place, it feels like you're playing a video game, and you're like, I've been playing this level for a while and I haven't seen this place yet.
Doesn't it feel like every different town or whatever that you go to feels like a weird alternate version of like Times Square?
Yeah.
They all sort of feel like they're all better than Times Square, but they all feel like alternate versions of the same kind of place. And there's like an infinite amount of them.
Yeah.
Tons of advertising, like tall lights. But
the commerce, man, there's so many shops and restaurants. Like every 5 seconds there's something to look at or buy or whatever. But real quick, so Totocon, if you're a wrestling fan, we have a lot of wrestling fans that watch. I'm obviously a wrestling fan. Very cool store. I mean, there's such a rich history in Japan with professional wrestling, with New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan and you know, just so much. So it's a great place. There's masks, there's belts, there's shirts, there's old books, magazines, everything you could imagine. But I did pick up a couple things. I'm just going to show them off really quickly. Abby, you've got that shirt on.
Yeah, I'm wearing the King of sports, New Japan, pro wrestling.
That's sweet. That's an awesome shirt. And then I picked up a couple VHS, which I wanted to show these off on here because we've been showing off VHS lately. So I picked up a couple WCW Japanese releases, which these will just be display pieces and they weren't very expensive. So we've got the NWO Sweet, not too sweet, not just too sweet, just sweet.
We're watching that this weekend.
Oh,
yeah.
dude. Does this play on American VCRs? It better.
Yeah.
It will?
Oh, yeah.
It's probably in English as well. It's probably just subtitled.
So we got this NWO Hollywood on the back. Yikes. And then of course you can't just get the black and white NWO. You got to get Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wolfpack.
Okay. Wolfpack is great, but also again on the back, Hulk Hogan. Hey, our Uber driver was like a big Hulk Hogan fan. He told me. And then I just love this cover. So cool looking. This is WCW Super Fight Series Great American Bash. Yeah, just really cool, like unique covers. Love this kind of stuff. I mean, this is as soon as I saw. Also, like these are like these like nice hard plastic clamshells, like just cool stuff. So, and then I don't know why this caught my eye, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I also bought a bag. New Japan Pro Wrestling. This isn't vintage.
Beautiful.
It's cool.
It's just a nice, cool bag.
You gotta carry. I feel like if you're a wrestler, your gimmick is you carry that to the ring, but the only thing that's in it is a crowbar.
A crowbar.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's got the crow. Or tapes.
A bowling ball.
Yeah, the tapes.
It does look like a bowling bag.
Yeah.
But that was a cool store.
Very cool.
And then
yeah, I love going through that.
And tomorrow, I think on Toy Anxiety, we'll be showing off more of the toys and stuff we picked up.
Yeah.
But it's almost like everywhere you go, there's always like a gift shop and the thing I noticed, like we went to the Nintendo store over there, and like we've been to the Nintendo store like in New York and stuff like that, and like the quality of the merchandise is on just such a different level.
Yeah.
Just the design, the execution of it doesn't feel like mass-produced GameStop crap. I don't know. It's just cool.
It's like thoughtful stuff. Like this hand towel that I picked up, which if you watched our video, you've already seen this, but yeah, I got the Tom Nook New Horizons hand towel, which, like, a pro tip for travelers in Japan, it's good to have a towel on you. If you're staying somewhere or if you're going to use public restrooms, not all of them have like paper towel dispensers. So
good call.
Get yourself a towel and like make it cute. I kind of regret when I went back and watched the video that we made in the Nintendo store. I was like, wow, I should have bought all that stuff. And I have every intention of like ordering it or something. But yeah, it was a really great experience. Jacob, I saw you tried to get some little Nintendo gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha
Maybe
con.
I can show that. I actually have one right here. So at the Nintendo store, and I saw this online. So one of the big things in Japan is the gachapon machines, where it's like the you put like 100 yen in, and you get, and there's like weird there's all kinds of stuff in those machines. Literally, you can find anything in those machines. But the Nintendo store in Japan has one that has some exclusive stuff, and it's they're like pieces of controllers, and it's like it's made to be a keychain, but they're like the original Nintendo controller, but it's like 3 different pieces of it. So if you want to get them all or whatever.
Right.
And I played it twice, and AJ played it, and we got the same piece 3 times. So that's cool. But this is the little piece. So yeah, it's just a little, everybody recognizes that. It's just a piece of the Nintendo controller, and
that's awesome.
It's a little keychain.
That's really cool. Yeah, Abby, I don't know where it is, but one of the gotcha machines had rings.
Maybe big one more time. On one of the last days when me and AJ and Jess were out, and you guys, I got this out of a gotcha machine. It's just,
I'm gonna grab mine.
It's just a coffee. It's just a Nestle, like a Nestle coffee grounds. I was hoping that it smelled like coffee. I was like, oh yeah, I would love to have a coffee keychain, but it doesn't smell. But
that's awesome. Yeah, I like those gacha machines. Like if you are a mini figure person, Japan's literally just dangerous.
Yeah, it's just and then there's a couple stores. We went into one. There was one in Nakano Broadway, but there's a couple stores that they just sell the gacha things like out of the machine, so you can just pick what you want. If you're looking for something specific.
Abby, did you grab the?
I don't have the ring, which I'll probably show off on Toy Anxiety because it's so cool. But yeah, they had like a Jason gacha machine, and there were
forgot about that.
Dude, I got this like super metal looking ring with like I believe Jason X.
Yeah,
it's Jason X. Yeah,
Jason X. Yeah, but I did find this, which
is so weird.
Yeah, it is.
I don't like old movies. Sorry.
All I know is that that was my first day, and that was the first like gacha store that we went into, and I put that ring on. And I was just like, I feel like I'm cool now. I can hang out anywhere with this ring. But this is my other gashapon, which the bag came from Jess because she's sweet and awesome and thinks about things like that. But this is my little ghost cat.
I love that ghost cat.
Yeah, it looks like Jonesy dressed as a ghost. And you just like hang this off your bag, and you notice everyone has that, and it's a fun way to like show your personality and interests.
They have a ton. Yeah, JD. They have the cool. There's Back to the Future. There's everything. Was there? I know there is Ghostbusters machines, but I didn't see any. But
well, because they change out very, very often, and like I showed off on Toy Anxiety a while back. There were little Jaws gotchas, and whenever they come out, you see them come out. You gotta if there's something specific you want, you gotta get it because they're usually it's like a couple of months and then they get switched out to something else. So if there were Ghostbusters, it was whenever you saw it, it probably wouldn't still be in the machine. So
yeah, and regarding Gradius Ship Pilot, they were asking, did you guys try Boss Coffee from the vending machines? And I did personally, and I loved it. I was sending pictures to my brother. That was like my favorite latte blend. I also really like the fact that the drinks in a lot of the vending machines can be served hot. I was a huge fan of this brand called Georgia Coffee, which is owned by Coca-Cola.
Hey, you can get hot drinks out of vending machines here. They're not supposed to be hot, but you get it.
But can you get freshly squeezed orange juice?
No,
right? You watch
God. Oh yeah. So if anybody's wondering, so basically, like we had an Airbnb in the Tokyo area for the whole time. It's kind of like our home base. But when we went out to Osaka, we did have a room at the Universal Port Hotel for the 5 of us. It was called a party room, which implies, listen, we're just sleeping, okay? There was no partying going on. But 5 bunk beds. No, 2 sets of bunk beds and then a single, right? Is that what it was?
It was 2 sets of bunk beds and 2 singles.
Okay.
And a couch.
And a giant book that was actually a safe.
That was cool. And I stayed on the top bunk and immediately climbed up and rammed my head into the ceiling. So Japan's a little smaller than here. Everything.
That room was actually way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, me too.
And it was much bigger than most of the hotel rooms we've gotten on any trips we've ever
bigger than any hotel we've ever had, like in New York. So
yeah,
I'd go back and book it just for Craig and I. Like it, I loved the way it was set up
for all 5.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was my favorite spot.
That was
a
cool.
Really cool bathtub setup.
To me, there's like we had so many things that we were trying to do while we were there, or just not trying to do that we were doing. There's so many stores where like we got to hit this, we got to go here. We're trying to hit Godzilla stuff. We were trying to find like food and the thing that I like now that we've done all that is like we kind of now have a reference of when we do go back to Japan, we know what we can leave off. We know what things we didn't get to do that we would like to do. We now kind of have a lay of how the country's laid out and where things are and how far and what it's like getting from somewhere to somewhere else. But it's like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, there's definitely a ton of things we didn't do that I want to do on the next trip. And then there's like a couple places I would love to go back to.
It's just like, you can watch all the vlogs, all the videos you want, but until you're there experiencing it, it's really, you can't really explain it. It's like anything else,
Yeah.
right? I was more invested and like really, I don't want to say taken aback, but like I was really, I don't even, was I inspired? I don't know what I was, but I really liked, we'll say that, all the shrines and the
Me too.
temples and like the more like religious and spiritual aspects.
Yeah.
And I think
the
it's because
non-Judeo-Christian atmosphere.
yeah, it's just so ancient and it's so old, and there's
Yeah.
just so much reverence and respect for these like structures. And hey, they're all really cool looking. Like, no offense, I don't care what religion you are, but go to any church in any town, it looks stupid. It's a dumb looking building. It does. It's a dumb
Sure.
looking building.
Right.
Like,
well,
these shrines are awesome. Yeah.
To go off of that, like I also like that I said this, I probably said this, it was probably you guys, we had this conversation, but we were talking about how when you watch like the Studio Ghibli movies, Abby, this was me and you, I think we're having this conversation about how you watch those movies, you're like, man, this guy's got such a cool imagination. Look what everything looks like. And then you're in Japan, you're like, oh no, it literally looks like those movies.
That is a Victorian bake shop, like with
right.
like a beautiful woman that's making bread. Yeah.
The thing that I really liked is, like the town we stayed in, you do a lot of walking around, and it's just like a city, but then you come around a corner and then you're in front of a building that's got to be a couple hundred years old, and then you see all the like traditional style Japanese buildings that you see in TV or in movies and stuff, and you're like, oh, that's just all like integrated with regular city life, so you can just be walking around, and then you're like,
preserved.
Oh, here's a temple that's just out of nowhere, and it is like, it does feel nice. Now I'm sure, I don't know anything about Japan's like religions that they have. I don't know anything about like the politics that are going on. I'm sure there are things that are not great as far, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure
like anywhere else. Everyone's got their problem.
But over here, you cannot get online, you cannot get on Instagram or Facebook without seeing somebody having a meltdown about either politics or religion or like a school shooting or like just something. And even if you try to not be super, like, I think it's unhealthy to constantly be like looking at the news every single day and seeing all the awful shit that's happening, but it felt really nice to be in a place where you're like, oh, there's no Christians here, so I don't have to have, like, no offense to Christians, but like, I don't have to have this shoved down my throat. You're not hearing political things, you're just like having
everyone
felt like a real vacation.
It's less in your face and more, this is just the way it's always been.
Yes,
and
it just felt chill.
There's no,
it just
like,
felt chill, and it felt like a real vacation from bullshit.
Yeah, proselytizing and mission work and all of those things. I agree.
Listen, I know that, but when we were going to go over there, like, there's this another thing that a lot of these videos do is they're like, hey, you need to assimilate, and you can't let people pick up on the fact that you're a tourist. Well, guess what? No one's coming up to us and be like, hey, are you from?
You're not fooling anyone.
Yeah. Like,
we don't look like we're from there.
Yeah, radical acceptance.
And at any given time, we were the only, well, first of all, there are some tourist areas we went to that there's people from America and Europe and everywhere else. But
yeah, it just depends where you go.
Where we stayed was a very residential area, very quiet. You get up in the morning, all the kids are going to school. A lot of them are like 8 years old by themselves getting on trains. I'm like, I can't even get on this train by myself. This is crazy. And I just felt very much like part of, this is my big recommendation, my big takeaway. If you're going to go for the first time, don't go stay like in a hotel in the middle of Tokyo. Like, get an Airbnb in a residential area and really immerse yourself in like the day to day. I feel like that's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation.
Yeah. And the people are all really kind and helpful to foreigners and understanding that you don't speak the language. And like we went to probably what was my favorite day of the trip was we went to Sukagawa to all the to do all the Ultraman stuff and the Subaraya Museum, and me and Jay will go really in depth on all that on Monster Island. But after the museum, before we left, we went to the temple in the town, and like this woman stopped our group, and you specifically, Craig, because I don't know what she was saying to you, but she just like was trying to show you stuff. She was like pointing out things about the temple, like just this woman and her elderly mother just started like showing us around and like pointing things out. And I just feel like
not only
that,
this lady was probably in her 60s and her mom was probably in her 90s. And she was so excited to talk to us. She propped up her mom on this rail.
She said, "Stay
It's
here."
like a frail woman, and she just propped her up so she could come tell us like the history of this area. I've got actually a couple pictures.
I sent you a picture of. I don't know if you saw the one I sent in the group.
Oh yeah, I could pull that one up too. But this is kind of one of the. This was like a big. There was like a huge Abby. Wasn't there like a big cemetery?
This is black. I don't see anything.
You don't see anything. Okay. Hey, just because I've been out of the country doesn't mean I don't know how to use StreamYard.
I can describe, yeah. It was like a temple walkway with cherry blossoms and statues. It was a space that I believe the story behind it was like a king owned it. So that's there it is. That's me. Hey. And yeah, there's a graveyard that you can go and wander into that's like kind of up into the hills. That's where I was. And it was really cool to meet like locals who were like so eager to share the history with Craig. I think Craig has like kind of that.
Wait,
like
I haven't seen that photo. Where is that?
I did a huge photo dump on.
Oh
my
man,
Facebook.
I had to go steal some pictures.
Yeah, I still need to steal pictures. Yeah,
this is from that town.
Yeah.
So this is where Ultraman or the Sugagai. Oh, fuck, I'm not going to say anything. Jake, you
Subaraya. Subaraya was born in this town of Sukagawa, and he created Ultraman, and then he went on to found the company that did a lot of the special effects for Tokusatsu and Godzilla and all that stuff. So the town kind of has statues and they have a museum and
right.
And it was like a little out of the way to go. It took a little while to get there, but it was like luckily Jakey planned it all and told us where to go, and it was awesome. It was literally the best. I think it was probably the coolest day of the trip because it was like nice and chill, and then it was beautiful there. And on top of that, there was like screen used Godzilla props. So
yeah, and there was an Ultraman bakery, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Abby, you picked up some stuff from the Ultraman store there.
Yeah, I got a couple cool shirts, which are not toys, so I'll show them now, not on Toy Anxiety. This is a cool the Leo Brothers.
Oh, the Leo Brothers.
Yeah, which
that's
I
cool.
mean,
what? I don't even remember. I don't even see that.
Hardcore shirt. I thought
Jacob, you know what's funny, Jacob? There's a level of you being so overwhelmed while we're there. There's definitely things that were happening where like I'm just looking at you and you're just like I'm like, oh, he'll see this stuff when we get back
later. Yeah, it's a brand called Chocolate. Hold on,
I know the company.
Hardcore Chocolate.
Hardcore Chocolate.
And yeah, that they made that shirt I just showed, this Mecha Godzilla shirt, which is like, I'm like, I don't know who ripped off who design wise, but like it looks like 80s, 90s hardcore t-shirt art. And then I got this Gigan, which I love.
I like
green.
the Gigan,
yeah. It's just awesome shit. Those are the shirts that I got. And then hold one second. From the Godzilla, the museum that was on the 5th floor of that building. I picked up a notebook, which is pretty blank, but that's where I wanted to put those stamps. Never got stamps. It was a little bit too much to keep up with. But when I go back, I'll hopefully get some stamps. Like when you go to certain destinations, they have them. But yeah, this is from the shrine. Jakey picked these up as a little gift for us, which is really nice.
Oh, the fortunes.
And yeah, and then this is a pin from the Godzilla museum.
Yep.
That you can kind of see. Yeah, just really great stuff. And I'll never forget when I saw in the comments there was some talk about how tall AJ is. There was a group of kids that were all like learning in the Godzilla Center, and when a couple of them rounded the corner, they saw AJ and were just like really like oh my god, there was like an audible reaction.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
Whoa,
like, whoa, there he is.
One of Godzilla's famous villains is here to do his signing.
Yeah, I just love that there's like an education section for like kaiju stuff like that. Like that's just it's really cool.
There was actually here, I'll show this off, but there was that little learning center was like had a library section to it, and there was a little rolly cart, and it was like library books for the kids, but all the books on it were like kaiju and Godzilla books and stuff. And there was a book there on the cart that was like a children's book, but it was about Subaraya, and like you could tell through the photos it was like about his life or whatever. And they were like classic, children's book illustrations. And I thought it was really funny because he's smoking a cigarette in all of the pictures. I was like, what? But I was just like, well, this is cool. It's like a children's book about Subaraya, and it's got Godzilla stuff in it. And I was like, Jay, I'm going to take a picture of this. We have to find this book. And then when I came home from Japan, the book was waiting on me. Jay got it. This is the book.
That's awesome.
And it's just got like, let's see if I can find, it's all like, these very like classic looking illustrations. And like, look, he's talking to a Godzilla suit actor, and he's just holding a pack of cigarettes.
For scale, he's like, all right, this is the building.
I just thought that was so funny. And like, if you look at any of the old pictures of him, he is smoking in all of them. But I just thought it was so funny because it's just a little kid's book. But yeah,
it's cool to have that be an inspirational figure, someone that like came up with a really fun.
It's also world. Like, it's also cool to be like, I've talked about this on Monster Island before, and I've been a fan of Godzilla like my entire life. It's like it's my number one favorite thing. And in America, especially when I was younger, when I was a kid, Godzilla wasn't as known here, and it always just felt like a thing that was silly and people kind of make fun of and don't really take seriously. And it feels like not until -1 came out, Americans have always just not really found it to be something to take seriously at all. So to be in Japan, Godzilla's everywhere, and then like being in that museum, and I'm like, we're in a fucking museum that is like curated. There's props in here. There's like people in suits standing around, and like there's a bunch of little kids in here, and that was to me the coolest thing ever. To be like, oh, these people like care.
There's so much reverence. Hey, I think that's just part of the Japanese. They have more reverence for American stuff. That, like, look, Sesame Street is one of the great American creations. There's tons of Sesame Street stuff all over Japan.
Yeah,
they're trying to get rid of it here. There's a political agenda to get rid of Sesame Street because it's poisoning the minds of children. Fucking stupid ass fucking God, I hate this place. Okay, listen. A couple more things. We're going to be talking about this trip for a while, so we're not going to cover everything in one shot. Oh, this is cool. When we were in Osaka, we walked past the Hanshin Tigers team store, which is the oldest baseball team in Japan, and I got a jersey. Just want to share that off real quick.
That was a cool little store. I like the color scheme. I thought all the merch was cool, even though I don't care about baseball or sports. Like that was just a cool store to be in.
Well, it's like, again, everything was just well designed and well curated. And
Yeah.
there's also this thing where, like, if you buy stuff at different stores, they give you like little free gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was discovering that we have like extra stickers, especially from the baseball team store. It's
Yeah,
great.
like when I got home, I was
rewards
like,
for buying things.
I was going through the bag from the baseball store, and I was like, I don't remember buying an ashtray. That doesn't seem like something I'd buy.
It's also just cool how they have so many themed stores that we don't, like I knew that there was a Godzilla store and I knew that there was a few of them, but you don't realize how many, like we were, me and AJ and Jess went into a place on the last day that had a South Park store in it, and a Studio Ghibli store, and like there's official Ultraman stores that are just in their malls, and I'm like, what? Like we got over to we were one train station over from the Skytree. The Skytree was probably about a mile away from us. Anytime we walked around, we saw the Skytree. But then once we actually got into the Skytree and realized, oh, it's like a mall in here. There's tons of stuff. We got off the escalator and there was an Ultraman store there. And I didn't even know that. And I was like, what? There's a fucking Ultraman store in here.
Like, if there was an Ultraman store in America, you would go out of your way to know about it, that it existed, but it was just hiding. Hey, real quick,
just hiding there. Yeah.
Abby, we're gonna show something else.
I was gonna just, speaking of like specific stores, there was a Hello Kitty store in the mall that we went to, and it's this shirt is like celebrating the Osaka Kansai Japan Expo 2025. So
which was like starting towards the end of our trip, I think.
This little red and blue dude is they're like the Izzy or the the symbol of like the
official mascot.
Yeah, the mascot.
That's what I'm looking for.
So I'm so happy to have this shirt, and I haven't opened it yet. I think it's got a big version of that dude. And let's take a look here. Yeah, see on the back.
Oh,
there he is.
I love that.
What is he?
I don't know. It's kind of I won't just
it's
vague. Cute. He's fun, space like and fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I couldn't have been happier with the purchases that I made. And I still have more stuff, but I'll probably show it on Toy Anxiety tomorrow.
I just wanted to share this picture real quick. So this was a candid photo of the lady explaining the history of the shrine to us and to me.
She was talking about the cherry blossom trees and how like that forest was an original place for certain seeds, I think.
Well, she said that all the cherry blossoms in Japan originated there. Like, I'm just taking her word for it. Like, there's probably people that are like rolling their eyes, like, oh, she's back doing the cherry blossom story again. But
I vibed with her mom when her mom got the prop up. Like, we made eye contact. And had this smile.
Listen,
like, yeah, I know.
I know. She was giving her mom the BJ treatment from Gemstones.
Yeah, literally.
So, but one thing I wanted to say was that this woman was really kind, but she spoke no English and I speak no Japanese. So thank you to Google Translate, which I wasn't using it the right way at first. And I was like, oh man, I looked down and it just said Ninja Turtles. I was like, there's no way this lady's talking about Ninja Turtles. There's no way that she's like a YHS fan who's like finding Ninja Turtle stuff in Japan. But
like,
then
comments.
yeah, I know. She's like, but actually, now that I think about it, there really isn't. Ninja Turtles is not well represented in Japan, which is kind of crazy because the origins of the Foot Clan are in Japan, but obviously it's an American property. Super cool, super cool, super fun time. We're gonna be digging into it for the next couple weeks. It's gonna probably guide us through a lot of our podcasting and a lot of our stories as we remember things and get photos and all that. There was Brian Brink had a question. He's just said, I've never traveled internationally. How was it going through customs with all your souvenirs? Super easy.
Just some
they
dude
literally
was like, did you buy anything? And I said some souvenirs, and he was like, go on through.
Yep.
Yeah. It was the going through customs on the way there took longer than it did on the way back. On the way there, you had to like fill out a card ahead of time, and the line was very long. It was probably like another hour or so after we had been on
once
a 14
we got to
hour.
Japan.
Yeah, so like that kind of sucked. But on the way out, literally what Abby just said, a guy said, "Did you buy anything?" And I said, "Yeah, just some toys." And then he just said, he didn't even look at my passport. He's just said, "Come on." They just flag you right through. It's
if you're going to travel to Japan, there is an option to go and fill out your customs information online ahead of time, which we all did. And you just get a QR code, which kind of speeds up the process once you get there.
Yeah.
So,
well, because like they don't do any, like they look at your QR code and they looked at your passport. And that was it. It was just a big line of people.
A lot of people. Well, listen, before we wind down, we'll talk about Star Wars Celebration more tomorrow because we'll be showing off some toys and stuff. But we did go to Star Wars Celebration. This is the third one we've been to. Obviously, it's a different vibe. There was not nearly as many vendors or like, a lot of times you get like the big over the top like Star Wars displays and the fan groups. Like it was just different. The first day was very chaotic, very crowded and bottlenecked. Conventions are conventions. There's good and bad. But I did want to point out that Abby, you and Jacob both went to the main panel, which was really cool, on the main celebration stage panel where they revealed Ryan Gosling's going to be in the new...
Yeah, I can say we saw Ryan Gosling. Yeah, in Starfighter, they put up the image of like the new title, like the movie poster, and announced the name of it, which was incredible and electrifying to see Ryan Gosling walk out. But then we got to see Sigourney Weaver be announced for the Mandalorian movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, and Pedro Pascal followed her out on stage. And it was just really exciting to see the two of them together. It was exciting to see and to hear Sigourney Weaver be announced because she is like sci-fi royalty, and it just makes sense for her to be a part of the franchise. And as a Ghostbusters fan, I started like crying and freaking out, and I put up a video in my story where you can hear me doing that. And it was incredible. I was really grateful that both Jacob and I were able to make it in. The energy was really cool in the room, and it's the kind of thing I'll never forget.
Yeah, and over the next couple of weeks, because we'll maybe we'll do like a Star Wars dedicated episode soon. Like once we all get caught up on Andor and everything, maybe we'll do a state of the franchise because, we watched Jacob. You haven't watched Andor yet?
No, none of it.
So it's been that's cool. Really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. So yeah, Star Wars is in an interesting place. Obviously, they're going to come back to Celebration is going to be in LA for 2027, which is the 50th anniversary of A New Hope, which will be pretty big. And so we'll dig deeper on Star Wars and thoughts, feelings, good, bad, and ugly of it all in the coming weeks. The thing that, Jake, you were talking about that day we were with Jay Key, in what's it called? What's that city called? Sukagawa. I knew that. Really cool. Pretty far away from Tokyo, like 2.5 hours north. Abby and I were behind you guys by about an hour and a half.
I lost my phone.
Abby lost her phone.
In the train
Felt like
station.
longer.
Was it?
Huh?
How long was it?
Felt like longer.
Felt like longer. But we managed to get there. But the thing, listen, I know this is like small-minded, not that traveled internationally. We haven't traveled that much internationally. But there was a point where like we're on this train, we're going 2 hours north, and it's like a smaller town, and you just have that feeling of, I am so far away from home right now. I am there. Without air travel, there wouldn't be a way to get home. Like if tomorrow planes stopped working, we'd live in Japan basically. And it really is an interesting experience, especially when you're somewhere like you're on this bullet train, you're going north, it's more rural areas and mountains, and I just felt so privileged to be able to do that. I've talked about in the past how humbled I am by the sea. Listen, I really am. But it makes you really, I just really appreciated what we were able to do. And
yeah, same.
yeah, it was just really cool. And not being the biggest Godzilla fan in the world, obviously I've seen my share of Godzilla movies and have my favorites. I was really like invested in like, man, this is just such a unique and cool piece of pop culture. And I've come back from the trip really kind of geared up more into it. So yeah, it was just cool. I just wanted to say all that.
Yeah. I feel inspired as well coming back from the trip to watch more. I've been reading and enjoying a really good fantasy book. And yeah, like I watched some anime while we were over there that I got into. I'm excited to, it's called Detective Conan. I'm going to check that out. I have movies to watch on Letterboxd, and yeah, I feel like I felt like my wandering spirit was ignited, and being able to kind of have some adventure and take a risk and be on the other side of the world it paid off, and it was worth it.
I will let the two of you know, there is a lot of Ultraman for free on Tubi.
Ooh, Tubi.
Cool.
Now it's not like dubbed, it's all subtitled, and it's not all of it, but there's a lot of Ultraman on there. I've been watching some of the stuff that I hadn't seen since we got back. So,
you know, I actually very much prefer the subtitled. I find dubbed.
Well, it's better. It's just like most people who are Godzilla fans they don't want to watch dubbed stuff. Dubbed is usually trash, but if you're like doing other things, you might want to put dubbed. You know what I mean? Because we don't speak Japanese,
right?
But
and when Godzilla and Mothra are fighting, if it's
they're mostly talking it through.
Yeah, if they start having a conversation,
hey, you'll think you might. This might surprise you. It might not. There is a Godzilla film where Godzilla and Anguirus start speaking English, and it's very weird. And it's
like in air quotes, or
I
like
mean,
voices.
So if you watch the like original Japanese version, it's like speech bubbles because they're not actually talking.
That's what I was. Yeah.
But if you watch the American version, which was the only way to watch the film for, most of my life, they just dub and give Godzilla and Anguirus voices, and they're like swimming, and Godzilla's like, "Hey, Anguirus, hurry up!" And he's like doing this, It's so fucking weird. So there is a movie that exists. Yeah,
that's fun.
He's got city hands.
Sounds like Quint.
Yeah. So we'll keep breaking down the trip. We'll have some fun tomorrow night on Toy Anxiety. Tune in, because I know Ryan got a bunch of pickups. He was at the Hot Toys store. We all have toys to show off, so it's gonna be cool. And then I really can't wait to see Jacob, and Jay Key's perspective, because he had a whole trip by, like, you guys don't understand. There was one night where Jay Key was doing like a secret meetup at a bar with no people in it, like just doing like a
buy toys.
Deal.
Yeah. Well, see, that is the thing. Jay is a very different person than we are as far as how he approaches. And he had Shelly, his wife, with him, but they had an itinerary down to this is where we're eating every day. This is where we're going to be on this day. And I think that's probably, I feel like I fall somewhere in the middle, because Jay's itinerary stressed me out.
Right.
And then Craig, your attitude towards the trip also stressed me out a little bit, because I'm like, Craig's going to end up doing nothing, and then Jay's going to end up having a heart attack from all, it's like, you got to find like a happy middle of like no planning and over planning. But Jay's itinerary was insane. So like, I'm excited to, like, we had completely different trips. You know what I mean? Like we ended up in some of the same places over the 2 weeks, but the trips are so different. So I'm imagining that Monster Island this week is probably going to be 4 hours long because there's just like so much to talk to Jay about.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's, I was comparing it to like, if you were going to travel to America for the first time, if somebody were to go, oh, hey, I'm coming to America for the first time. I'm going to do an afternoon in New York, and then I'm taking a train to Washington, D.C. for a day, and then we're going to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, cool. Good luck doing anything, because
that's kind of what we did, though.
Right. So, no, we packed a lot in, and I really like, I don't want to be like, I literally was like, well, how do I move here? How do I live here? Like, what do I need to do? It felt.
I'm still looking into it. Like,
you should.
I want to be there, not here.
Abby, do you have any final thoughts? Not final thoughts, but any more additional thoughts?
I was mostly taken aback by like the nature and like how gorgeous the plant life is, and how well decorated homes and stretches of streets are, and how ancient the history was, and how cute the cats are, the street cats, the cats in the cat cafe. Yeah, I there are reasons for me to go back for sure, and more places to explore, and I'm looking forward to that.
Well, I've been watching, guys, I don't want to break the news to anybody, but as I'm 41 years old now. I'm a 41-year-old adult male from America, which means that I never thought this would happen to me, but you just never know. I've really gotten into like World War II documentaries. It's just something that's happened. I never expected it, but so especially being in Japan, knowing that it wasn't like this, all joking aside, World War II was not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. We were not friends with Japan. I don't know if you guys knew this. They attacked Pearl Harbor. We were brought into World War II. Obviously, the end of World War II, really bad stuff, really horrific stuff. The history of it is so interesting to me. I would love to go to Hiroshima. I would love to go to Nagasaki. I would love to just experience that stuff. There's just so much that country has to offer. And I want to go to Pearl Harbor too, because I want to go to Hawaii. I want to watch Pearl Harbor. That movie sucks. It's not good. But just really a very special place, and can't overstate that enough. So I'm surprised I went. Just doesn't seem like something I would ever do. So thank you to you guys for getting me on board. And by the way, 14-hour flight. I don't like flying. I just don't like it. I can't get comfortable. I can't sleep. But I did it, and I would do it tomorrow. I'd get back on a plane and go tomorrow if I could. So
yeah.
Little bit of housekeeping, guys. Thank you for watching, whether it's live or after the fact. Wherever you do take on the content, leave a review, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let YouTube know that this is content that you would enjoy on a weekly basis. Appreciate that. And one more thing, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow night, but I have to plug this. Whoops. There it is. Real Ghostbusters, A Visual History, the new book, is coming out in July. I got the copy of the deluxe edition in the mail just the other day. Troy Benjamin and myself did an unboxing, taking a look at it. Super proud of this project. Super special. Listen, we're going to be talking about this a lot over the next couple months. Ghostbusters is a very important thing in all of our lives. We might have some Ghostbusters plans coming up in the next couple months. You never know where we're going to be.
We never know until we're there.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited to look through that this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't gotten clarity from Dark Horse on what I'm allowed to show and what I'm not. So I'm just going to show the cover for now.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I'm not allowed to let you look at it.
No.
You were gonna say, no, you can't. But it's going to be behind a.
No, it's really cool, and we the deluxe edition. We showed this off. Has this portfolio on the inside that you open up, and it has the two animation cells. reproductions.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Egon, nice shooting, Tex. What movie? And Ray. So, super proud of this. Super excited. Available for pre-order wherever you get your books. Dark Horse Comics Direct, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all that kind of stuff. So, very, very excited about this. Jacob, we'll look through it this weekend. We'll have fun. Jacob, you're coming up for a concert this weekend, which is going to be great. Abigail, how you feeling? Yeah. I think I'm ready for. I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed after this for sure.
Tired.
Are we going to bed?
I'm sweating and I'm fucking tired.
Yeah.
But no, I think I got to try to keep myself. I think it's a mistake to go to bed this early.
Okay. Have you watched Righteous Gemstones from last night?
I did. I watched it earlier today. Love that show. I'm a little confused. Where do you think there's 3 episodes left? And spoilers, I think there's 11 episodes, isn't there?
There's 9.
Okay, I thought I looked it up and it said 11. So I was like, what is the rest of the show going to be? There's only
I was thinking that too. I think.
Well, if you Google it, it says 11.
Okay. I looked it up last night. It said 9. I mean, last night felt like it could have been a finale. I don't want to give spoilers away, but I don't know if you guys watch Righteous Gemstones, but there was some fun.
I just Googled it again, and it says season 4, number of episodes 11. That's the thing that pops up. But yeah, that could be wrong.
I don't know. It feels like it's wrapping up.
Yeah, one of the other things says 9 episodes. Okay. So that's why I was just wondering, like, if there's 3 episodes left, like what
the fuck are they
we
gonna
just
do?
Finished the storyline.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we won't spoil it, but there were some good laughs in that episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Some good songs. There was one thing I will spoil: when Baby Billy looked at the nanny and told her to stop smoking that pipe like Bilbo Baggins.
Like Bilbo Baggins.
Say no Hobbit house. I mean, what the fuck? Abby, are you enjoying this season?
Oh yeah, I love it. I can't get enough of it. I'm a huge fan. I hated not being able to watch it while it was coming out while we were overseas. So it's part of my routine to watch my shows, and that's one of them. It's one of the best shows on television. I was thinking about getting an Amy Lee tattoo because I have Antigone on this arm, and like just having
Amy
just cover.
That'd be cool.
Hey,
cool. I love.
What would your Amy Lee tattoo? Let's book this right now.
Sassy on Sunday.
Sassy on Sunday. Oh my god.
I love her character. She reminds me of Amy Grant and Susan Ashton, old like Christian music artists that I actually really liked growing up. I think it's cool. Her character's awesome.
I want a Baby Billy.
Teen Just. Every time I'm down since getting back from the trip, I just say Teen Just.
Teen Just.
I'm in a better mood.
Oh my god. I need $2 million cocaine. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight to Yes Have Some Podcast. We'll be back tomorrow night with Toy Anxiety for Abigail Gardner, Jacob Walsh. My name is Craig Goldberg. We'll see you next time. Bye. Heart out? Heart out. I was going to try to get the music, but I don't. Oh, there it is. Well, we can't do the countdown again. Bye, y'all.